About the principles, because I really think that's foundational. Folks come into Morningstar, they're really signing on at the very base level to a set of principles that everyone says, okay, this is the guide this is a creed by which we agree to operate. Number one, individual goals and teamwork. Number two, personal responsibility and initiative. Tolerance, direct communication and resolution of conflicts. Caring and sharing, and doing what is right. So I don't know if you can read this, but I'll read through it for you, okay? Number one, the mission. Our mission is to produce tomato products which consistently achieve the quality and service expectations of our customer in an cost-effective and environmentally responsible manner. We'll talk more about mission in a minute. Individual goals and teamwork. Each colleague hereby agrees to commit him or herself to the pursuit of perfection with regard to their integrity, competence, and individual responsibility. And in recognition of each colleague's personal goal of achieving happiness, each of us commits to pursue teamwork because together everyone accomplishes more. Personal responsibility and initiative. Each colleague agrees to take full responsibility for their actions as well as those of their fellow colleagues and our overall mission. Colleagues are personally responsible for their training, time commitments, performance, and participating in and contributing toward achieving the mission and practicing the principles. Colleagues commit to manage themselves, to personally take the initiative to coordinate their responsibilities and activities with others, to develop opportunities for improvement and for making things happen. Now this is actually kind of a big deal. If you think about it, what we've effectively said is you come into this organization, you're responsible for this stuff. There's no passing the buck. In fact, interesting quote that Chris talked about, interview somewhere. Somebody asked him, somebody mentioned something about the buck stops here, and I think his response was, no, I'm not really interested in where the buck stops, I'm interested in where the buck starts. And I think that really speaks to this. The buck really starts with everyone within the organization at whatever level. Tolerance. It's understood that individuals differ in many ways, their values, tastes, moods, and methods to achieve goals. It's agreed that these types of differences between individual colleagues will be respected and tolerated. This is a big one, direct communication and resolution of conflicts. I'm going to breeze through it very quickly. I'm not going to read it word for word. It says, conflicts and differences between human beings are natural and necessary aspect of life, especially in the pursuit of excellence. When one colleague perceives that another is not adhering to the principles or is acting in a manner not conducive to achieving our mission, that colleague is to privately address the issue with the other colleague. That's step number one. You approach the colleague that you perceive not adhering to the principles directly. If you can't arrive at an agreement, now pay attention to language here because I think it's pretty important. If the two colleagues can't arrive at an agreement vis-a-vis direct communication, they can pull a third colleague in, a mutually agreeable colleague in, not to be a judge, but to perhaps provide some insight and help bring some clarity to the issue and hopefully achieve some sort of resolution. And resolution is categorized as agreement. So we come to some sort of agreement. If that still doesn't work, then they pull a panel of, I think, six colleagues in, and these are mutual agreed colleagues. And those colleagues, again, are not acting as a jury. They're acting as a group of guides, I guess, maybe mediators. Again, with the end goal in mind of trying to achieve resolution between the two colleagues that have the disagreement in the beginning. And if at that point they're still not in agreement, people are still at odds, Chris, as the final protector of the principles, gets involved and adds his weight to the situation. Principle number 6, caring and sharing. To the degree colleagues care about themselves, their friends and relatives, fellow colleagues, suppliers, customers, the environment, mission, principles, and facilities, each of us will come closer to achieving our personal goals. Caring for others, each colleague commits to sharing relevant information with others and taking the initiative to forward information which they believe may be helpful to others' activities, even if it's not asked for. I think this is an important thing. Sharing relevant information with others and taking the initiative to forward information even when it's not asked for. We'll get to why in a few minutes. And then do what is right, live, speak, and endeavor to find the truth.